Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another, not rating video, but my top 10 favorite Pokemon. So, this took probably about 2 hours to sit and really think about. Um, this is going to come down to about three factors: show, cards, experience, meaning like if I've seen it on TV, but like why did I like that Pokemon? Maybe just how the sprite looks, anything. It's really, this is 100% opinion. Please let me know who your favorite Pokemon is, but also who's in like your top five. And I know it's so hard to do now because there's like was 1,025 ish Pokemon or something like that, and there's going to be more, and new games are still going to come out. So obviously this list is going to change most likely. I already changed around 4 of my top 10 since probably the last 20 minutes. I already just talked myself in and out of things. So as you can see, I put basically an honorable mentions area, but I just said, these were Pokemon that I picked that I'm like, I like the cards, or I like them in the show, or I like them in the games, but they just didn't supersede everybody else. And this time I think is I was gonna try to do it a different way. There's look how much of sprites there is. I mean, you'll see the black square still, but it's so much sprites to go through. So coming in at number 10, and a very controversial number 10 because he was a number 10 a half hour ago, is going to be Scizor. So with Scizor, I picked at number 10. I was actually going to put Alakazam or Solgaleo there. So again, that's where the change around happened. And I just basically stem this back to the cards in the game. I mean, the game was crazy to get them because you needed a metal coat, you needed a trade. That was another thing, but it was just such a good Pokemon in the game. I mean, granted, the typings kind of didn't do it justice, but it was just such a cool design from the game itself. Definitely good number 10. Could have been in the bottom with the rest, depending on how I was feeling. But coming in at number 9 is Ampharos. Ampharos was, again, another one that was flipped around about 3 or 4 times before I figured out what I wanted to do with Ampharos. I love Ampharos. I love the cards, the game, sprites, everything about them. I don't know why. It's just a very good Pokemon to me. And all of my stream runs with Ampharos have probably gone pretty much the farthest, besides one other Pokemon, I think I saw Lucha, but still just one of those just all-around cool Pokemon to me. Coming in at number 8, and this one was flopped just before I started the video, I promise you. It was from, actually, it was in 7th place, now it's in 8th, is Entei. Entei. Out of the dogs and legendaries of the earlier games, probably my favorite. Just all around legendary. The movie was fantastic. The cards are fantastic. The Black Star promo card, the reverse holo, I think I had. I don't think it comes in a holo. It might come in a holo. I'm not sure. But I had that Black Star promo card for years, and I don't know obviously where it went, but it was one of probably my favorite cards and most prized possessions just growing up as like a kid collecting things. Coming in at number 7, who he lost his spot to, is Houndoom. Again, going on just pure design. I don't think I used him a lot in the games, which I wish I did, but I just didn't use him enough to make him like, that's my favorite Pokemon of all time. I think, honestly, if I used him more, he'd be way higher up the list. The cards, again, fantastic artworks on all the cards that he has out. Just his Mega is just unbelievable. If I did a really funny Mega Evolutions video mid-stream last night, actually, and just rapid fired all my Megas. It was just crazy. Took like 2 minutes. Coming in at number 6 is Umbreon. My favorite, not my favorite shiny. I won't say that. Probably my top 3 favorite shinies of all time. Cards are fantastic. I think at the time this is being recorded, the Moon Umbreon card right now raw is like, I think it was like 900 something or 1,000. Graded, it's like wild, like $1,400-$1,500. Insane. For me, it's all about the game. When I started playing Coliseum, Umbreon being really introduced as like a main character with Espeon, with the protagonist was huge. I loved that game. GameCube also was just unrivaled at the time. Coming in at number 5, I hope I don't go too far. Perfect. You don't see the one above it. Is Typhlosion. Now, Typhlosion almost was not on the list, and now he's at number 5. So I'll tell you how he got there. So for me, Blaziken being in the honorable mentions almost flipped with him. Blaziken for me was always a solid pick. That's always what I picked in the games. I did not veer away from like I didn't even think about anybody else. I don't know why, even though because the other ones were just as good. It's just I don't know what it was. I just his cards are fantastic. The Hisuian was I can't say that Hisuian version of it is easily just by design is one of the coolest Pokemon I've ever seen. I just didn't like it in the game, I guess. I did use him. Again, not my favorite decision, I think, to do with that, like an alternate type Pokemon for him, but still, one of a kind. Coming in at number 4, solid number 4, is Steelix, and I already kind of gave away number 3. That's okay. But number 4, Steelix is my favorite Steel-type Pokemon, just overall. Another metal coat person, believe it or not, but he's just so good. I mean, in my stream last night, he was probably the reason why I won my stream last night for our run. It was our chill stream run. He basically kept us alive just on sheer defense, being like over 250 or something like that, 260 late game. Coolest cards on the planet. Shining Steelix is so expensive to get, but such a beautiful card. I think they have the Radiant version of him now, which is in like the new, I think it's Paldean Fates? I could be wrong. I'm not sure what's set. But just coming from a Pokemon standpoint, again, I love the Metal Coat. I know it was almost impossible to get, but he was just solid. Always was solid for me. Coming in at the obvious number 3 now is Gengar. I love Gengar. I just watched the episodes with my son of the original Indigo with Haunter and Gengar when they fight Sabrina. One of the most iconic just Pokemon too there is. It's right up there. I don't care what anyone says with Charizard. I'll fight him on it. Charizard is great, but Gengar was one of those just different type Pokemon too. Ghost, not a lot of that. So he came in and just made it easy to fight Alakazam, made it easy to fight the psychic types that soon came after. I think he adopted a poison type too in one of the games, but still just easily top 3 for me. It wasn't even going to be a question. My top 3 wasn't even a question. I knew my top 3 before I even made the video. Coming in at number 2 might shock people, but this is sheerly just for me, is the Chandelure. Chandelure for me, again, is just a ghost fire type. Fire type and ghost type are probably my top 2 favorites. If they are together, that's probably why it's him. The shiny's fantastic. It is the original orange flames that he has, but again, when I first saw this Pokemon, I immediately kept it on my team. I never took it off. I would catch all these other ghost type Pokemon, like Phantump, I think was around that. Like, what's the other one? Phantump, Pumpkaboo, like all that. I like when ghosts mix with other types. But he just coming down to the fire and ghost type. I have a collection of his cards and his arts and stuff like that. I still got coming in. He's just, the cards also sold it for me. He's just it's weird because all of his cards are really cheap, like relatively cheap, and did not cost that much to like obtain. But again, I can't harp on enough. Love the design. And if you watch me and already know how much times I've said it and how much times I've told people this, number 1, without a question, is Arcanine for me. Arcanine, and it's going to come down to the episode where Ash sees the, I don't know if it's a painting or some kind of fossil work or rock work or etching he is technically was a part of the legendary birds. I still consider him legendary, and I think that stuck with me. One of my first old cards that I ever got. So like, and when I mean old, I mean like base set from base set like two, not even base set two, like base set maybe two, maybe fossil. I don't even know. I got it way later. I think when it was not that expensive to find, but someone gave it to me, and it just like rekindled that. I had him in all my teams and all the games. Even if I picked Charizard, I had an Arcanine. I didn't care about types because it was just the design was perfect. I'm not gonna lie, the Hisuian, if I'm saying that wrong, I'm sorry, I'm butchering that version of it, is not my favorite thing. They did not do that well. I feel like an alternative version of that could have been so much better. And I'm sure there was ideas for the design to work that way and look that way, but they did not do it justice by any means. Just scrolling down, I mean, like, just like look at the difference. I'm gonna have to like zoom in on this because I want, just so you can get an idea. I mean, it's not gonna zoom in much more, but so I mean, just the difference is night and day. Like, do I like the color scheme? Yes, I like the color scheme of the new one. I just don't like the big, like, I get what they're doing, but they don't need all of that, I feel like. But again, tell me who your favorite top 10 is, because I'm telling you, when making this list, it was not easy. Just running through it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Those are my top 5 favorite Pokemon. As you can see, they're all pretty much older. Chandelure's in the middle ground. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is, I'm pretty sure, all Gen 2? Is that Gen 2 or is Houndoom 3? No, it's 2. Huh. Okay, well, I guess I really, really, really like Gen 2, which is true. And my honorable mentions, Senscorch, Alakazam, Blaziken, Magneton, Crobat, Melodic, Mimikyu almost, by the way, made it where 10 was literally exchanged probably 30 or 40 different times. The Dragapult, Ninetales, and Solgaleo, I have recently, only because of the games and my runs. Dragapult is fantastic. Love the design. Tell me again your top 10 and also your favorite Pokemons in the comments. And I appreciate everyone for stopping in, by the way. I'm just going to throw that out there super fast. All the people that comment, like the videos. I mean, again, I just do this for fun. I don't do this for anything else. It's something I really enjoy doing. Again, not fancy, using browsers and lists and stuff. But again, I appreciate everyone. And that is my cue. And my dog just told me to tell you, see you next time.